Welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared.
And I'm Lad.
And today we are concluding our series on Superman Wonder Woman by talking about Volume 5 Savage End and the Final Days of Superman arc. All right, so first thing you should know, this series was the setup for DC Rebirth. It was like one of the stories that established what they wanted to do for Rebirth. So Lad, remind me, which book did we say we were going to start with? I thought we were doing Superman Wonder Woman first.
I think we said that, or actually maybe we said do the other one first because it kind of ties into the the whole death of Superman thing.
I mean, most of this takes place before this.
Yeah, I guess we should probably do that then. We should probably do it in order.
All right. So Superman, Wonder Woman. All right. I'll explain things as we go along. All right.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
I can. Yes, I can.
All righty. So Superman, Wonder Woman, and Savage End collects issues. Okay, so it collects issues 25 to 29, and there's an annual and a few other issues in the collected edition. I'll switch over when we get to there. All right.
All right.
So we start off. If the screen loads, hang on, give me 1 second. Technical difficulties, folks. Okay, it opens up. Clark Kent is going through his photo album, his family photo album. He sees his parents, and he realizes how much he wants that happiness. We get a flashback to Justice League 12.
Oh, right. Yep.
In which they first kiss. We get this random scene where it's like after a fight and Superman and Wonder Woman start making out on a bed. We get this scene where Clark returns to Smallville and says he's in love, and he takes out an engagement ring.
He's talking to the Graves.
Then we get this scene in Atlantis where it's Aquaman and Superman, and the power couple are having food with Aquaman and Mara. It's like a double date thing.
Yeah.
And then so Wonder Woman and Mara go swimming. And I love this. So they're talking about their men, as women tend to do. And I love how Mara, in reference to Clark, is like, personally, I like a bit more swagger, but I have to admit his chest and shoulders are impressive. And then Wonder Woman's like, I may have noticed once or twice. So they start talking about the whole having a relationship and everything. And then we cut to Pakistan, and this dude is like attacking these goat farmers.
Oh, it's not. I thought it was gonna be like another one of those like people escaping the Phantom Zone.
No, we're done with that. That ended in like Super Doomed, I think.
Ooh, okay.
So anyway, Superman and Wonder Woman show up and kick this guy's ass, and then Wonder Woman is, and then at this point, hang on, okay, at this point, Superman, Wonder Woman tells Superman, listen, man, you go home, I'll take care of this, okay? So he goes home, he sees the engagement ring, he puts it back in the thing. Wonder Woman comes home. First, she tells him that Ares is dead. And then this is where she tells him that she is the god of war.
Oh, so I'm surprised that he didn't know about this before.
Yeah. What he said, the way she justifies it is, it was either I get the power or the Firstborn does. The Firstborn was like an antagonist from one of her stories where it was the Firstborn of Zeus. And he was trying to kill the gods and get all their powers. So she had to take it, otherwise he would be practically unstoppable.
Right. So what powers does being the god of war give her?
I guess you kind of draw strength from conflict. I have no idea.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, I haven't read that arc, so I'm not that sure. So at this point, what this scene is showing is about how there's an underlying tension between these two. A lot of it because of of the whole the whole what is it? The whole God of War thing.
Right.
And then what we come up to is Clark is making her dinner. And now this is after he uses his solar flare power. Remember when I said it knocked out his powers for like 24 hours?
Right.
This is during which he's not powered.
Oh, okay.
This is you see he burns himself on the food.
Right.
And then he and Wonder Woman have this conversation where with what if I don't get my powers again? And then he right before he serves at dinner, she has to suit up and go take care of a Justice League thing. And he's like, "Oh, I can come help you." And she goes, "You don't have any powers." So he starts to feel kind of useless.
Yeah, even Batman's powerful even without his powers. So, maybe Clark
Superman doesn't have gadgets, lad.
Well, see, so without his powers, he's nothing. If he's nothing without the powers, then he doesn't deserve them, to quote Iron Man.
So then they're having they have this conversation, and then
are we still flashing back, or is this current?
It's still a flashback.
Okay.
Superman's like, I could have helped you, and then Wonder Woman's like, no, you couldn't have. You don't know what it was like over there. Maybe if you had your powers. And then Superman actually says, "Is that what you'd say to Batman?" And then one woman goes, "That's different, and you know it." And she goes, "I'm not helpless. I can still fight. I'm more than just my powers." And she goes, "Yeah, I know that. However, it's just not like it's not safe." So we go through this whole thing. Basically, with these short little flashbacks are showing is that there's tension building up between the two.
Yeah.
And then actually she says it's okay for Superman to be vulnerable and to rely on others. And then we have a series of flashbacks that are talking about like the whole fight with Super Doomed, them them fighting Orm in Throne of Atlantis, the whole her interrogating Lois.
Yeah.
And then so Superman puts the ring back in the drawer, and that ends issue 1. Now, this is taking place. This next issue is taking place during the arc where Vandal Savage, hang on, has Superman's powers, and Superman's like very injured, like really bad. So Wonder Woman takes him to the Greek gods and says, "You have to help. You have to save him for me." So
they didn't seem to like her that much before.
You like him before, yeah. So they basically put him through this little like these little mental challenges, and then he keeps going through each one. What I like about this one is that it's half Clark, half Superman.
Interesting.
He goes to Smallville. This is like he sees like his underlying fear about what people think now that his identity's been outed.
Right.
He sees, and then over here, he sees like the ship, which is conceivably he's like, you want to leave Earth or something like that. And then over here, this is I think this is Cupid. Oh no, this is Eros. This is Eros. He's the god of desire. So he shows them like the statue of Superman, Wonder Woman kissing.
Yeah.
And all that. He shoots Superman, and then Superman takes out the ring. And then and then basically what happens is that they heal Superman. That's basically what that issue was. It was just them healing Superman. Now in this arc, hang on. Now in this arc, if the thing loads,
so now he has his powers back, presumably.
No, not yet. What he did here is, remember I told you he got powers from jumping in that chamber of kryptonite in Argus?
Right.
That's why he's glowing green right now.
Okay.
So he needs that because he can fly and stuff. So he's using it to Vandal Savage is using the fortress to try and cause a meteor to hit the Earth, kind of like in that one Justice League movie that they did for the animated version of, where he wanted to cause a solar flare to hit the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So Vandal Savage sends the father to. So basically, what happens is that Savage's ship merges with the fortress, and then actually Superman gets in, but then is captured by Savage, and Wonder Woman takes the ship to go save him. And then the Vandal Savage's kids engage Superman and Wonder Woman, like really bad. And then the okay, hang on. This thing is loading. Hang on, it's loading.
Then
Okay. So what happens is Wonder Woman's gonna block the beam that's bringing the asteroid in, and Superman's going to actually destroy the station. So he does that, and then it cuts to another issue. This collection like jumps around a lot. So basically,
yeah.
in between this, Superman is like buried, and then he's saved by Metallo. Metallo's a good guy here.
Right.
Now here, I believe Superman has his powers back. Yeah, he does.
Ta-da! Finally.
Yeah, so he has his suit back, and then they go engage Vandal Savage alongside Stargirl, Jim Gordon, Batman apparently,
Oh,
and Steel. And they engage. I like how Jim Gordon's Batman has like rocket launchers on his shoulder.
nice. Yeah.
Then they engage in this massive battle, and Vandal Savage is injured. And then he takes a jetpack up to the fortress. Is that something? That's Frankenstein. It's basically a big brouhaha. And what happens next? So they fly around. It's this big battle, and then Superman engages Vandal Savage in combat, and then there's the asteroid coming in.
Oh snap.
The asteroid doesn't hit, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Just like, and that's the end of DC Comics.
Yeah, that's the end of it. The world's destroyed. All right, now we're up to issue 29. I'm speeding through these because we're also gonna have a discussion on the other book and the discussion of the series as a whole. Since we're done with the series after this. So this is taking place during the final days of Superman. So you know what? Actually, I'm gonna pick up with the final days of Superman.
Okay, sweet. So to give some context for this is like Superman's last hurrah, then you could say.
Yeah.
Like
the
this
new
is his last storyline.
52 Superman. I'll explain what actually happened to him later. Now,
okay.
Since there's not like a collection on DC Infinite, so I'm gonna be going through the actual book, and then I'll hold it up as important things happen. I'll be describing things.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. The book opens up with Superman realizing that he's dying because, again, he brings up that it was really a combination of three things. It was him being exposed to the fire pits of Apocalypse and Darkseid War, him being exposed to the like kryptonite room in Argus, and then so at some point in the Justice League storyline, he fought Rao. In other words, the Kryptonian god Rao.
Okay.
And they had this big battle, and it all resulted in it all combined into this. Basically, it's like a malignant tumor.
Mm-hmm.
So now Superman embarks on actually something pretty interesting. So previously, so years ago, Grant Morrison wrote this story called All-Star Superman. And the premise of it was Superman's dying because he got a lethal exposure of solar radiation.
Yeah.
Now, as a result of him dying, he decides, I'm going to go around and still help people, and I'm going to say goodbye to my friends. And that's what this is based off of. It's kind of that same idea. So anyway, also, so Superman goes out and he starts saving people again because he's Superman. The first person the first place he goes to is Smallville to see Lana Lang because she was the first one he told about his powers. And she was his first girlfriend.
Okay.
And so obviously he tells her that he's gonna die. Then we get so Superman's solar power, solar flare, it also released a residual of his energy. And the thing is, it hit someone and then it turned them into basically a being that thinks it's Superman. This sunbeam being right here. I'm trying to get the light to work.
You can unshare your screen if you want to make it larger.
Well, that's a good idea. I forgot I was sharing my screen. So yeah, it's the sun guy. Hang on.
Oh, looks cool.
And this guy is basically the main antagonist of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So then he goes and sees Lois Lane and tells her the whole thing. And then he basically tells her, I want you to write my obituary.
Oh, man. That's sad.
So then so he goes to Gotham to see Batman and tell Batman the news.
Right.
And I love this how he tells Batman, okay, so did you bring your car? Batman goes, no. And then Superman goes, good. And then Batman's like, why? And he goes, flying is faster than driving. He's flying with Batman. And then Batman goes, you realize you're officially pissing me off, right? So then he tells Bruce the whole thing. And then Bruce at first is like, well, we could do the Lazarus pit or something like that. I brought Damian back to life.
Yeah.
And then Superman's like, dude, it's not going to happen. Reason why I came to you is that I can't find Kara. So he's like, I need you to help me. And then so he goes, I'll take care of it. I'll call you. So Clark leaves. Then before he leaves, he has a nice moment with Alfred. Then we see Batman react in his own way. He smashes a laptop. So Batman is pissed.
Yeah.
He's thinking about his best friend's dying.
Right.
Then we see the Sun Superman saving people. I'm just going to call him Sun Superman.
Yeah.
So Batman and Superman are actually also attacked by these weird Chinese creatures. I say Chinese because they're based off of Chinese mythology.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Superman actually gets cut, and the wound is healing, but slower than usual because he's dying.
This is kind of a dramatic storyline then, that like Superman's like actually dying, like in such a kind of sad way, especially because he's like been like one of the pillars of the New 52.
And what they establish is later on, so the way the old Superman came back in the Death of Superman storyline is that there was a Kryptonian healing matrix that would help him regenerate. It doesn't exist in this world.
Oh, really? Interesting.
So that's basically them saying this Superman's never coming back, and then he later came back. I'm gonna tell you that later. So here's Kara.
Okay, yeah.
And this is Supergirl who became a Red Lantern at some point.
Right, that's right. You told us about that.
So Superman shows up and breaks Kara out because he thinks she's being held captive, but it turns out there was this storyline when I'm trying to pull this up. So there was the identity reveal, and then the meteor with Vandal Savage actually weakened all of the superheroes' powers to the point where Kara lost her powers. So the reason why she was at this lab is because they were helping her like kickstart her superpowers.
Oh, cool.
So then we pick up on, on the Sun Superman showing up at the Daily Planet because he thinks he's Clark Kent.
Right.
Like he actually thinks because that the thing that hit him, that was like a part of the essence of Clark Kent.
Oh, okay.
But then actually he starts hurting people. That's how they know he's not Superman.
Right.
And then he escapes. So Superman takes Kara to the fortress and basically tells her, you're going to be the last survivor of the House of L. And and he basically gives her a key to the Fortress of Solitude, and actually uploads himself as the, like, you know how in the Superman movies,
Yeah.
Superman has had that hologram of Jor-El to help him through things. Now she
Right.
has a hologram of Clark Kent.
Oh, that's like actually kind of cool.
And then they're about to leave the fortress, and who should show up? Speaking of Superman, Wonder Woman.
Oh, hey, someone forgot to tell Wonder Woman about.
Yeah, exactly. And now I have to reshare the screen because this issue is in there.
Okay.
Okay, now we're up to here. So Wonder Woman shows up, and then she basically asks Clark, "Am I the last to know about this?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, because truth is, you're. I knew you'd be the hardest to tell."
Hmm.
So then immediately, Wonder Woman's like, "Okay, we have to go. Maybe we'll go to the gods. If they helped you once, they'll help you again." So Superman is like reserved and saying, "Listen, this is not anything I'm gonna fight. I can't fight this." So he basically says it's over and everything, and his life's over. He doesn't say it's over with her, and in fact, they end up making out for a little bit. And they both receive a separate communications call from Steve Trevor and actually Jimmy, and they find that there was this weird Superman creature that thinks it's you, and then they come face to face with this guy, and then so they explain again with the solar flare power, part of him left and then gone to this kid. The other one actually also thinks that Clark is the fake Superman. So Superman goes to Ulysses, who's a Kryptonian, who Superman was fighting, and also threw out a solar flare power. So he basically asked him, "Okay, so are there any weird side effects from this power? Because I'm dying and this thing happened." He goes, "Well, it just made me really weak and everything." And then Ulysses breaks out and then realizes that, hey, Superman's weaker. So actually, I don't have to do anything because he's going to die. Then next up. All right. Now back to the book. Okay. Back to the actual physical book. All right.
Sweet. So let's unshare it so that way we can see full screen.
So it picks up on the Trinity are flying, and they're flying to China because that's where the Superman was tracked because he escaped.
Right.
And then so they're forced down by what I'm assuming are the Chinese Justice League like analogs.
Yeah.
They're called the Great 10.
The Great 10.
They engage in battle, and then eventually Superman convinces them, "Hey, we're not here to invade China. We just need to see." And then it turns out they find the scientist who is actually trying to. So, but basically, these are all like artificial creations. These Chinese superheroes. So she was trying to create like a clone of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
The clone, and then the clone escapes. It was that creature, I guess. So the Sun Superman meets Lois Lane. Lois knows it's a fake guy.
Yeah.
So she's not believing it. Hang on, let me see. Superman. No, this is okay. You pretend. Okay, so next it picks up with Superman and Wonder Woman flying side by side, holding hands, and Superman is realizing all the things that he took for granted, like flying alongside his girlfriend, saving people. And then Superman straight up faints because remember he's losing power and everything.
Right.
So they strap him into the Batwing and then take off. And once again, Lois knows that this is not Superman. So she's basically like, okay, just play along so I don't get killed.
Mm-hmm.
So this Superman goes, "Okay, do you want to see a secret?" So she's like, okay. So teleports them to this house, this farmhouse in California. Now, it's these two people. It's a father and a son, one named Jono, and one that looks suspiciously like Clark.
Yeah.
With a beard. So Sun, Superman, and Lois show up. And then also what's kind of interesting is Jono notices that Lois looks like his mom.
Interesting.
I'm dropping major hints, lad.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
So what's kind of interesting is that he basically reveals that this is another Superman.
What? They go
Okay.
to.
So they did a storyline called Convergence, where Lois was where in the Superman Lois one, Lois was pregnant and gave birth to a son named John.
Okay.
And those two escaped the destruction of their world into the new 52 Earth. This is Jonathan Kent.
Okay, Jonathan Kent.
As in the current Superboy.
Yeah.
I refuse to call him Superman because no matter what DC says, Clark Kent is Superman. His son is not. And by the way, it's truth, justice, in the American way. No way they're changing that.
You're under arrest. How dare you?
By the way, notice this Superman is wearing the black suit.
Yeah. So this is Superman from another world then, or
this is basically the pre-new 52 Superman.
So this, because you said it was from Convergence, right? Which kind of pulled stuff from the before the crisis
Multiverse,
and everything.
Yeah. It was a horrible event, but it pulled together like it was a very crisis world. In fact, even the Injustice world showed up.
Interesting. Okay, and so this is like Superman from like the original comics and stuff with Lois, and they had a son, and they're hiding out on the New 52 world.
Yeah, they've been here since Darkseid's first invasion.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I think in like their book called Superman and Lois, it shows them around the time of the Darkseid invasion.
So wait, they actually get their own comic book line during the
New 52? Which explains how they got here.
Okay, interesting. And they have a son. And so how did this son Superman glowy guy just knew where they were and stuff?
The story doesn't explain that.
Okay.
I don't know.
So he wasn't actually lying then when he was acting all crazy.
He was crazy. Yes, exactly. So their Lois shows up, and then Clark Kent takes her to. He has his own secret fortress of solitude.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so now back to the computer. All right, let me reshare the screen. So what do you think of this arc, lad?
Okay, so this is pretty interesting so far. A Superman dying, which is kind of sad, and then having this other Superman guy showing up, who's like the classic Superman.
This is the guy who replaces him when he dies.
Right. That's really interesting.
Up until Reborn, when they basically merged the two together, because what they established is that in the Flashpoint event, what Manhattan had done is he split the two beings.
Okay.
So they're always meant to be one Superman.
We'll have to come back to it once we finish everything, so we can get everything straight.
Yeah, this is really confusing, and trust me, it confuses me. So anyway, they fight the Sun Superman, and Lois shows up because she was, and then she's like, Clark, be careful, and then he's combating the creature, and then Superman takes his son and his wife. By Superman, I mean pre-Superman, to his own fortress. So it turns out he had his own fortress of solitude that no one knew about.
Nice.
And basically, apparently Superman had never told his wife and son about this place, and Lois is kind of peeved, and he goes, "Well, I was going to tell you about everything, I swear." Then we pick up with I love this Lois Lane drop. I love how Batman takes Lois Lane to safety. He drops her off at some abandoned a gas station. And first up, the gas attendant is like, "Hey, Batman, you need gas?" And then
Nice.
Lois Lane is like, you can't just leave me here. Then Batman's like, yes, I can. And he just leaves her there.
No, it's not. Batman is the
So-
most evil.
Yeah. So Superman and Wonder Woman engage this guy. They pummel him. And then so Kara's like, okay, I'm powered up enough. She was at the lab powering up because remember I told you her powers are kind of on the fritz.
Yeah.
So she powers up because she knows Cal's in danger. And then we cut to okay, that's the end of this book, I think. Yeah, it's the end of this book. So that's actually the end of the computer time.
Oh,
All right. So let me skip to where we
What else?
were in the actual.
what about there's a few more I thought of the
There
Superman.
are, but they're exclusive to this.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we'll cover it there.
Yeah. So we see again, Superman is like engaging Sun Superman,
Yeah.
and they're in this epic battle, and then like very destructive epic battle, and Supergirl shows up to help her cousin, but she is quickly swatted aside, and then Batman rams him with the Batwing.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, I just love that. Batman's like, "Urgh."
Yeah. That's cool.
And then the dude still gets back up, so
Right.
it's not turning out so well. Then Superman goes, okay, I have to get this guy away. So he flies him up into the atmosphere, and then when he thinks he doesn't have the strength to fly him any further, Black Suit Superman shows up and goes, I got you, bro. And he goes,
Wow.
and then Superman basically says, okay, look, the Black Suit Superman tells our Superman, listen, you go, I'll take care of this. And then and then Superman goes, okay, but listen, dude, if you're really a friend, they're gonna need you down there. So he punches him away. Because Clark, I think Clark knows that there's a multiverse Superman. So he goes, they're gonna need you. You have to live.
Yeah.
And Superman basically blasts the dude with his heat vision, which ends up causing him to explode.
Yeah.
And then Clark Kent falls, and then he has this whole goodbye thing.
Mm-hmm.
He says goodbye to Lana, to Lois, and then and to Kara. And then I like how Batman's like, you were the best of us. Serving by your side has been my great honor. And then the last person to find out he was dying, the last person he gets to say goodbye to is Wonder Woman. And then his last words are, what a lucky man I was. And then he explodes with energy.
Oh,
All that's left is basically his ashes.
that's so sad, actually. Like,
And they have all these people reacting to Superman's death. And you can see the TV screen that says Superman's dead. And Jimmy had thrown his camera into his TV screen.
yeah, that's like so sad because this Superman's been around for what, about 6 or 7 years, like, in our world, right?
I was freaking pissed when they killed him.
Oh, so you read, like, when you read this, that must have been a big shocker, right?
Because guess what? This was all so they could retcon, so they can get rid of the Superman Wonder Woman relationship. That's the reason why this happened.
You think so?
No, that's why it happened.
Really?
That's the stated reason why it happened. So they could get rid of that and put Superman with Lois again. DC has basically spent the entire, most of their publication history crapping on Super Wonder and also Wonder Bat shippers as well. It's not just us. And the last panel series is Lois Lane is fulfilling her Clark's last wish and writing up Superman's life.
Yeah.
That's the end of this storyline.
That's the end of Superman, Last Day Superman.
Yeah. Now we're going to the exclusive issues that were in this volume.
Okay, sweet.
I apologize if this is out of order, but these issues are not on the website, so I had to do it this way. So this issue is primarily from Wonder Woman's perspective, and it's basically talking about Metallo's memorial, because Metallo had sacrificed himself to power up Superman.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I love how each of these little notes is like she's going through the stages of grief, like denial.
Right.
So she flies through. She meets Steve at the funeral, and Steve basically says, "I'd like to give us another try." And then
What?
Diana's like, "Wait a second, what? Why are you talking to me like this? I'm with Clark." And then Steve Trevor goes, "Superman told me you guys broke up." And
Why would
Wonder
he?
Woman's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what Diana asked." And then Wonder Woman's like, "I'm sure you misheard." So she goes out in search of Superman. And she finds them fighting a King Kong, apparently. It's a giant robot gorilla. So she helps them. And then Superman is very like dismissive of her. So she's like, something must be wrong.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman goes and sees Lois and goes, "Do you know if there's anything wrong with Clark?" And then he goes, "No, he didn't talk to you." And he goes, "No." And she goes, "No." And also we see this kid, Wonder Woman's helping a kid who's being bullied, basically being the superhero that she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Then she and Batman show up and find a Brainiac drone. And this is where Batman tells her Clark's dying. Because what happens is Batman goes, "Well, Clark was always that rock we all lean on." The Wonder Woman's like, "Why are you talking about him in the past tense?" And then Batman's like, "I'm sorry, I thought he told you Clark's dying."
Oh, snap.
And then she goes to see him, and then we get again this nice little issue that's basically her reflecting on when she first met Superman during the Dark Side invasion. And then we see a recreation of Justice League 12 again. We see a few of the other issues, like in Superman Wonder Woman, when the relationship was revealed to the world, where Batman confronted them about the relationship and basically says, "I'm glad you two are together. I'm glad you guys find happiness in each other. That's great. But this makes people afraid."
Right. Batman said that, yeah.
Yeah. And then we see, and then we also see when Batman revealed to Superman and Superman alone that he had contingency plans in case the Justice League members ever turned evil. He hands him Wonder Woman's box, and then it's empty. And then Superman's like, "Wait, what?" And then she goes, "It's empty because Wonder Woman doesn't have a kryptonite. You're the only one that if she turns evil, you're the only one that could stop her." Basically giving Superman the responsibility.
Right.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman basically does more superhero things. And then again, it's another reflection of the past, with like Superman not being able to fly.
Right.
And let's see, the whole Wonder Woman interrogating people. And then this is where and this is when she shows up at the fortress in the Superman story that we were reading.
Yeah.
That's it. That is Superman Wonder Woman.
Wait. I thought there were a few more issues in Superman and Wonder Woman that we had to go over.
Those are the ones I just went over.
That really?
Yeah, that's it.
So does Superman Wonder Woman, like that collected issue you have, just ends like that kind of, and you have to kind of jump over?
Yeah, it ends like that.
Oh wow.
All right, so here's what happens to New 52 Superman. Actually, when he exploded, he was actually teleported by Mixelplick.
What? No.
To the nth dimension. And this is when him and like Lois Lane from like New 52 and everything, when those Supermans and Lois's merge into one being, and we get the new timeline.
Wait a second. So Mixelplick saves him somehow, and he merges them together or something.
Yeah. So it's a really confusing storyline. We'll cover it some other time. Now, he doesn't die again. He's actually teleported to the dark multiverse.
Wait. The merged Superman is now
the New 52 Superman really wasn't merged. He was just transported to the dark multiverse.
Why would they do that? That's even more confusing.
I don't know.
Because I remember like hearing something about how they were merged together into one, which never made sense to me in the first place. But then they say that it wasn't actually. You can't do that to me.
I'm looking it up right now just to make sure I'm not giving you the wrong information, but I'm fairly, because I looked it up and yeah, exactly. In 2018, they brought him back because DC had their had their character named Sideways, which is basically their like analog to Spider-Man. And then what happens is hang on, let me see this. Okay. We find out, so the last thing he remembers is kind of being the last thing he remembers is like I think being like merged, but he was actually transported.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, he was transported, I believe, to the dark multiverse because Sideways encountered him. Because Sideways, one of Sideways' powers, basically DC Spider-Man, is he can travel freely between the dark multiverse and our multiverse.
Okay.
And so he traveled there and ran into the new 52 Superman.
And so does he team up with some of the other heroes during like all that crisis stuff going on, or no?
He basically what he does is he goes off to like to try and save the other heroes of the dark multiverse.
And that's it? That's all we see about him? Oh.
Yeah, that's all we see. He escapes with some up and sideways. In between fighting giant spiders and saving a dozen superheroes, he reveals subtle details about his history that can help answer some of the most burning questions. Let me see here. I'm trying to actually go and see what actually happened to him. All right, well, anyway, so that's basically what happened. So he didn't actually die.
Right.
Yeah, actually, he flew. Okay, so if this is truly the new 52 Superman, this changes the Okay, the changes to his origin suggest that his history could have been rewritten after Superman Reborn. As a result of that reality warping story, DC's main continuity Superman got a new rewritten history, and the same thing could have reasonably happened to the new 52 Superman. Okay, so here's what they're saying. This is according to comic book resources. However, this doesn't explain why he went after Superman Reborn. As he tells Sideways, Superman fell through a gap into several short-lived synthetic realities in the dark multiverse. While the statement is certainly vague, he emphasizes like the gap. So he basically fell through a gap in the timeline. As Doomsday Clock is exploring, the new 52 timeline was created when Watchmen's omnipotent Dr. Manhattan effectively erased a decade of history from the DC universe and kept the Justice Society from ever forming. Okay, the new Superman ended up here after his adventure taking out continuity. Well, let me see what else. Keep talking, lad. I can hear you.
So Superman. So what Dr. Manhattan did, he like created the new 52 universe, like, you know, younger heroes and everything, and he actually split Superman into two parts and made this younger version and like kind of like the pre, you know, all that crisis stuff Superman, and then, you know, so then they were supposed to merge back together, but then this guy actually was somewhere now existing in the dark multiverse, and we have like our current Superman is just like the classic Superman, something that.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Convoluted as hell. So anyway, so let's talk about the Superman Wonder Woman series in general. What do you think of the whole series, lad? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, so this was really cool. The whole series was really good, like exploring their relationship together, you know, with Lois out of the picture and everything. They did a really good job of showing that they are not just the same hero, you know, that they're like, you know, they're two alike. It wouldn't really be interesting because usually, you know, like, oh, they're both like shining in the light, you know, as opposed to Batman in the darkness, like, and, you know, they're red, white, and blue and, you know, heroic and truthful. But we really saw a different side of both characters here, where one woman, you know, she takes measures, she goes to lengths that Superman doesn't agree with, and it creates problems for them, like we saw in like the last issue or two. And that was really good to see them show that it's not just like an easy relationship for the two of them, but it's actually like difficult and they have problems. And they really develop their characters well, like individually, but also as like a power couple.
Yeah.
That was really good. I think they did a great job with that.
Yeah, I told you this series does a lot to develop both their characters individually as well. And yeah, I agree. It definitely shows why they're not as similar as people think. Because again, people think, well, yeah, they're exactly like each other.
Yeah.
One's the god of war, dude.
Right.
And Superman hates war. So that's what one of those issues in this volume was dealing with.
Right. No, that's true. That was really cool. There was a lot of really good moments, like when they first thought they were gonna die in the first volume we did with the explosion inside the reactor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was really epic, and just seeing how the world saw them, with Superman's identity revealed, people being afraid of them, speaking with the president, and even Batman chiming in here and there. That was really cool. Seeing like how would other people react to what's going on here, and then ultimately when Superman has to sacrifice himself, seeing how that's gonna affect one woman. That's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, where does now we talk about that. What did you think of the Final Days of Superman arc?
That was really cool. I like that the Final Days of Superman arc was really cool. I thought it fits in well with what's going on here.
Yeah, even though it killed off my favorite version of Superman, I liked it because it showed that this was still because this is exactly what Superman would do. He finds out he's dying, he goes right back to helping people.
Right. No.
And even Wonder Woman is like, even Wonder Woman and Batman at some point in the storyline, I kind of skipped over this part. We're like, you can rest and everything. You're dying. Everyone will get it if you just sit this one out. He goes, no, people are in danger. I have to do this. This is my problem. I have to do this.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, it is really sad actually that Superman actually dies here, and like kind of a cool way, instead of just being like stabbed to death or something like usually does by
dies. I'm using air quotes into the camera because remember I just explained to you doesn't happen. Right.
The convoluted stuff, but when this first came out, it was kind of like his death, which was a dramatic thing to happen in New 52. That's really cool, it's pretty sad, but it's really interesting, and
I dug it a lot. I really liked it.
How is Wonder Woman gonna take, how does this affect her?
They make it out, so she immediately falls into the arms of Trevor.
What? No.
Literally, that's how stupid it is.
Man.
I mean, she's mourning, but not that much. There must be a time skip where she's mourned. Because this is ridiculous. Yeah. Because what they do is they killed off this Superman so they can put Superman with Lois, and then Wonder Woman with Steve Trevor.
So are they trying to bring things back to kind of starting to erase the New 52 a bit and going back to normal?
That was basically the point of Rebirth.
And then with Rebirth coming up, Rebirth happened shortly after this.
This was immediately the start of Rebirth.
Okay, yeah. Rebirth is where it's because
there were hints throughout the New 52 that something had happened, because Wally West, the white Wally West, in other words, the classic white redhead Wally West, comes back and says, someone took 10 years of our lives, guys.
Yeah.
Someone has been screwing around with our lives. Dr. Manhattan. But they didn't know at the time. So, and that was the first indication that something is going on.
Yeah.
And then Rebirth was basically the build up to Doomsday Clock.
Right. And then they can on a cosmic level reset everything. But Rebirth started already soft reset some of the changes New 52 did.
Yeah. It was still the same world.
Right.
But yeah, it reset a lot of it.
That's kind of sad that they really just in the comics, DC just really wanted to bring things back to normal, and they just basically put Wonder Woman with Trevor and Superman with Lois, and just
by the
forget
way,
all this happened.
then when I restored her back to normal, she wasn't with Steve Trevor in the pre-New 52 continuity.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor was an old guy.
Right.
Oh, but by the way, also, yeah. And what's weird is that they claimed that the new 52 upset a lot of fans. It actually didn't. It sold pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Although Rebirth was still great. In fact, it outsold Marvel. Because guess what Marvel decided to do around this point? All new, all different.
Oh, what's wrong with all new, all different, Jared?
Well, because you know how it really, you know how it really screwed around with sales and everything, and people didn't like it, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, it was an interesting era for DC, definitely, where they had this character and storylines, and Superman was a cool thing. Especially, I never knew that about this comic series, but it was really good. It was really interesting. It it had a different tone from most of the other comic series, so it felt pretty special in that regard.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, a lot of people didn't know this existed. I noticed. So here's the story behind why I decided to cover this series. So, as you guys know, and like a couple of episodes ago, we did a debate where it was me versus Lad and Mitch talking about Super Wonder versus Wonder Bat. So I put the Instagram post up there, it exploded. So I figured, let me put up like an Instagram post asking the fans that follow us at Comics League 2020, please follow us, about where they stand on this argument. Now, a lot of people said because they're too similar and everything, a lot of the Wonder Bat people, in terms of counting Super Wonder. So I said, have you read the comic series? And they said, there's a comic series?
Right.
So I said, okay, you know what? Let's just cover this thing, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, also, okay, so I actually want to read a couple of things because I asked a couple of the fans to give us like their arguments for Wonder Bat and Super Wonder. So I am going to read a couple of these real quick.
This from the Instagram?
This is from the Instagram. Let me find the post where I did that.
Let's see. Because I'm not sure if other people are aware, but I am actually a Wonder Bat shipper.
Let me ask you this, Lad. Has that shipping ended? Have you converted since you heard this series?
Listen, I wouldn't. I used to be super hardcore Wonder Bat, but this actually was a really good Superman and Wonder Woman storyline. I will say that does.
Okay, here we go.
Does make me consider it a bit. I wouldn't say Wonder Bat is like the end all be all.
Because really, honestly, there's never really been a Wonder Bat series.
Well, yeah, it's not really like in the comics per se too much.
It's just a cartoon. Okay, so anyway,
right.
I'm going to read the Wonder Bat argument first, okay?
Yes.
And this is by user Wilmar Jafilo. I apologize if I butchered your name, bro. All right. He says, well, I prefer Wonder Bat. I guess it's because all the chemistry they have always had since the Justice League animated series and after in BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. I have no problems about Super Wonder, although I'd say that Lois is substantial when Justice League is involved. A relation that I can't see is with Selena. Okay, I don't know why Batman and Catwoman doesn't make sense. All right. My last reason is that creepy romance they made in the new 52 animations. Apparently, he didn't like when they did that in the DC AMU. That was weird and disrespectful to Diana, but always it's just an opinion. If I had to pick one, it'd be Wonder Bat without a doubt. And I said, how was the animation thing creepy? And he didn't answer. But anyway, Sammy said 2410 said Super Wonder all the way. There were a couple since the Silver Age of DC. Kind of a couple. I always read New 52 as, especially when it was about Superman and Wonder Woman. All right, so there you go. Those are arguments for both.
Mhm.
Another argument I saw, which I want to ask you about this argument, was a Wonder Bat person told me, I want to see like the effect. I'm interested in the effect that Wonder Woman being with Batman would have on Gotham City. And I'm like, okay, here's why that argument doesn't work. He's best friends with Superman, the beacon of hope.
Yeah.
I don't get how being in a relationship with someone would make Gotham better.
And there's enough goons and criminals that it's perpetually in chaos. It doesn't matter. The whole league couldn't stop what's going on in Gotham because Batman has such a great rogues gallery that there's no stopping it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Wonder Woman would not be as really involved in Gotham, by the way. Just the same as she wasn't really involved in Metropolis.
Right.
She wouldn't be actively with Batman on missions all the time.
Right. It would be pretty awkward then because they're not like on the same power level. So it'd just be like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Joker's like, I've got an awesome, and then it's like 2 seconds, like the whole thing is like wrapped up in like a bow tie.
Yeah, it's like Batman's like, okay, it's over, Joker. And the woman was like, I got it. And then she just destroys them.
Yeah.
Plus, Wonder Woman is willing to kill.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are some of the arguments that I've read from the community. Thank you, by the way, for commenting. You guys are great. We love you guys. So that's the end of that. Now, by the way, where does Volume 5 rank, lad, of the volumes we covered now?
Okay, yeah.
And then you can include in Volume 5 the final days of Superman, since they're interspersed.
Right. I mean, I thought this was a really epic conclusion to this. I want to say, like, it's number one, like, ranked the best, and then I'm going to put the first volume, and then all the rest of them follow after that.
Oh, it's supplanted Volume 1.
Yeah, I'd say definitely supplanted Volume 1, because I really love Volume 1, how it set up everything. It was a really great introduction to this, but I really liked how they ended this. You know, it's really dramatic and pretty sad seeing Superman die, but I think they did a good job of doing it.
Apparently, by the way, this whole Superman, the couple has to break up, was like a new thing, because Charles Soule, when he was writing a series, was going to build a whole a shared world for them, but DC said, okay, we're putting him back with Lois.
No. Man.
Damn editorial interference.
What did you think of the series overall?
I loved it. This is the basis of why I ship these two characters. This series, particularly that first arc, because that first arc does an amazing job at detailing how different they are, because Superman wants to keep the relationship a secret. Wonder Woman's not used to keeping secrets from anyone.
Right. No, that's a good point. And for you, this must be really cool because this is like it's not just like a, Justice League comic book that has like the relationship happening during the events of it, or a Superman comic book that has the relationship happening.
They also have that too.
But it's like actually a dedicated comic book run for Superman and Wonder Woman's relationship together, which is really cool.
I told the whole story about how I got into comics. There was a comic book drawing class that I was in. This series is what pushed me to get DC. I mean, this relationship, because when I got into DC, it was around the time that that Justice League 12 had just come out and you saw the kiss. I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. I gotta check this out. Because originally I thought she was with Batman because of the Justice League animated cartoon, which, by the way, even Batman said no.
Man,
Batman rejected Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
in the cartoon and in the comics, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So
anyway, all right. So this is nowhere near, I think, as disrespectful as what they did in the AMU movies. Because you know what they did? They had them break up off screen.
In what movies?
In the DC animated movie. in between Justice League versus Teen Titans and the death of Superman, they broke up. They never showed it.
When they had that storyline tied into Death of Superman, that would have been a big thing.
That would have been fantastic. Are you kidding me? No, but they wanted to do Lois Lane again.
So did they explore their relationship in the movie?
It was explored mostly in Throne of Atlantis, and I believe Justice League versus Teen Titans.
Okay, and so we actually saw their relationship kind of like in this comic run.
It wasn't any of the storylines in this. I mean,
okay,
but it was still good. I would have loved if they did an animated movie series just on Superman, Wonder Woman.
Right.
That would be fantastic. But yeah, they didn't do that.
That could have been that would have been really cool. You know, you could have done this like comic series as you know, as a movie or something like that. This is like a really cool amount of lore that they established with these characters. It's definitely an impressive storyline that, you know, was worth making.
Yeah, that definitely was worth making because it was the first time this had ever happened. It's the first time DC made a canon in their main continuity, not Kingdom Come, not Injustice, that they were a couple. It's the first time they actually explored it.
Right.
That's it.
That's really cool. I mean, I'm really glad we got to cover this comic book series because it was really good.
It's one of my favorites. It's this way for me. New 52 Justice League by Jeff Johns and Superman Wonder Woman. They are neck and neck for my favorite comic book series of all time.
Wow, that's good ranking.
Because let me put it this way. I've said my 3 favorite superheroes are Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They're in this book.
Right. I like that Batman showed up a little bit also. That was funny.
Yeah. I love how Lad was like writing Batman's dialogue for him. Just saying about how Batman is all jealous. You know what? I bet you Batman is actually in the Batcave with the cowl on like Wolverine, and he's like pawing a picture of Diana like Wolverine was in the X-Men animated series.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a scene.
I'll make one of those eventually.
There's a panel. I have to pull this out. It's hilarious. It's kind of like that. Like, keep talking about the book while I get it.
I'm about to make like an edit photo of the one where Wolverine is like sad, and then I think Cyclops and Jean Grey are kissing in the background. I'll make that with. That's what this is.
Hang on. Let me show you this. So this is when they actually decide to have a relationship. So it turns out Batman had placed a tracker on Superman, and then he's watching them from his satellite.
Wait, which comic is this?
This is Justice League.
In Justice League, he actually watches them. He finds out.
Yeah, he's Batman. You really think he didn't know?
So he knew before, like the whole public announcement of it and everything.
Of course he knew. He's Batman.
That's kind of funny.
Do you really think they could keep a secret from Batman?
Yeah.
But the fact that he's watching them while they make out, I'm like, ah.
The real plot twist should have been that Batman planted a kryptonite bomb. That's why Superman died at the end of this run.
It just took forever to explode.
Right. And it's Batman's like, it's done.
Yeah. Don't worry. This one's mine. Diana will be mine.
This is a really good comic run. This is really good. I liked it.
I loved it very much. So that's a good place to leave it. Now, next week's episode, we're actually going to be talking about and this was an actual fan request that was emailed to us at comicsleague2020@gmail.com. So we're going to be talking about fan fictions.
Oh,
like fan-made stories. There are actually, I've checked out a few of them. There are actually some really original ideas that are better than what DC is putting out currently.
Really?
Yeah. So the story is, actually, I'll pull up the email. So I got an email on the email thing from Vicky from this group, she emailed me and says, "Hey, I discovered your podcast through this series. It's great, and we were wondering if you wanted to do a series on like the Super Wonder for fan fiction community and everything." I'm like, "All right, sure. Just give me all the information. I'm good to go." So I'm in the Discord group talking to a few of these people. I actually may be able to line up a few of them as guests, so we'll see how that lines up. But yeah, so we're talking about Super Wonder fan fiction. A lot of the stuff, lad, is really original ideas that would be great as like actual comic books.
Oh wait,
yeah, amazing stuff.
We'll have to look through that and check out and see. So I thought you were saying like fanfic, like all DC stuff, but you're saying specifically Super Wonder.
Yeah, because that's what they asked me to do. So I was like, all right, sure, might as well.
We could check it out.
Trust me,
check it out.
I know when you hear the word fanfic, it kind of gets a little but trust me, this stuff is really good. I've actually checked a lot of it out.
Oh, cool.
They do like a lot of occasionally they'll like adapt storylines and like expand on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cool. There's some really good stuff. I had to make me a list of ones they want me to talk about, so I'll start working on that. And then we may do another debate in terms of like in terms of like who would win, Batman or Goku. Which Lad and I both know it's Batman.
Batman.
So for everyone except Mitch, by the way, has said Batman. You may be going to my side on this debate, lad.
Right. You know what I really want to do a discussion on is because Batman can basically beat anyone, but what if it was Batman versus the Bat family? Could Batman beat the Bat? That'd be really
that is a great idea.
I'd love to see that because he's trained them, he knows them, but they know a lot about him too and techniques. Red Hood, Robin, Nightwing, Damian, Batgirl. Kind of like Alfred, the Bat family. If you had to go against a rogue Batman, would they be able to take it? What would the storyline be?
Cool.
Would it be possible to do? For them to defeat Batman? I feel like
that's a fantastic idea. Jeez.
That'd be really cool. I think that would be an awesome, we could make up our own little storyline or just, theorize on who could win, what could happen.
It's a great idea. We're going to do that. And then so I saw the Eternals, spoiler alert, it was awesome. And I'm going to be doing a review episode. So basically the new show, as you know, the new show has been kind of quiet. So what I'm going to do is, in addition to covering actual news, that's going to be also our movie review show. Just because that's news when you review a movie and everything. So that's what that's going to be too. So we can have more consistent content coming out. And then if there's no new Superman, new superhero movie, Lad and I will watch something on HBO Max or animated and just talk about it, even if it's an older thing. So that's our plan for that. So that way we can have more of a schedule on what we're going to do. And then, yes, the next show coming out on the podcast is going to be the Halo show where I talk about the First Covenant race. I'm still picking out which one I want to do. And then Star Wars, Lad and I are going to talk about the Boba Fett trailer.
Yeah.
He just has to watch the Boba Fett trailer. Did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, this is Lad.
We haven't done we haven't done the episode yet, so I'm okay.
So we'll do that. So basically, we have a plan for all the shows, what we're gonna do.
Yep, and there's only a couple more weeks left in our school semester or school in general. So
in December, we're gonna be giving you guys a lot of consistent content because that'll be all we have to do. We want to have school conflicting with anything.
Yep,
but. All right, I think that's a good place to leave it, unless you have anything else to say to the fans, lad.
No, this has been fun. I really enjoyed this comic series. Honestly, I was actually impressed by it. I very much liked the ship of them too. So yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, all right. So, and by the way, one day I will make you flip, lad. I will change you.
We'll see. We'll see.
Mark my words. All right, Lad, just real quick. Do you want to hop on the episode when I review the Eternals? I mean, so here's the thing. So Lad hasn't seen the movie yet. I'm just offering, and I got Lad interested in seeing the movie, and I think he just froze.
It's lag. Sorry, it's lagging a bit.
Oh, okay,
right
there you go. You
now.
caught up. All right. So do you want to wait until you see the movie,
Okay,
and then
now I
I'll do
think-
another episode with you?
Maybe you can go ahead and review it for now because I'm really I don't think I'm gonna see it like right now or soon enough. So why don't you go ahead and just review it and yeah.
Okay. All right. So that'll be coming out.
But
That'll be coming out very shortly. I'll be probably recording that tomorrow. So that's about where we're gonna call it. See you next week when we talk about fan fictions. All right, stay heroic, everyone. Bye bye.
see ya.